Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation reads like this. Hello, how are you? My name is Monica and I'm working as a nurse here in Harare. Please do not share my phone numbers with anyone. So I do see mothers every day, young and old, and most of them, they will be expecting new life, but what they don't know is that I am not just a nurse. Brother Nashi, to tell you the truth, I am also a witch. My journey into darkness was not something that happened overnight. No one grows up dreaming of becoming a witch, no. Yet here I am confessing to some of the things that I have done, things that people cannot even imagine. The funny part about it, when I was still growing up at our home, because I grew up without knowing my mom and my father, they had been fighting with my grandmother, who was my mom's mother. So they were not in good communication. What will then happen is that whenever my mother would come and take me by force, then I'll get so sick. The only way that I'll be okay is after I would have been returned back to the village. My grandmother was using charms on me because she wanted to give me the Tokoloshes that belonged to her. That is what you do as a witch. When you are about to die, you need to select one amongst your grandkids, one who can carry on with your work. So amongst their many grandchildren, I don't know why she chose me, but that is what happened. So growing up, there will be a lot of pastors that would come, and then they would be given a lot of herbs by my grandmother, and they were using these charms to make their churches to get so big. So from early on, I knew that this is what pastors did. My grandmother passed away. I was then given a basket that was full of herbs. And then I returned back to Harare. When I returned back to Harare, I then went to learn to be a nurse. And after graduating, I started working at this other big hospital that is here in Harare. So as it happened, there was this other man, a doctor, who was from Malawi. The man then told me that he had been in communication with this other Sangoma for a very long time. So this Sangoma, what it does is that he was creating some Tokoloshes, and for a Tokoloshe to be created, a soul, a human spirit is needed. So this doctor was working with this other nurse, but the nurse had since passed away. The nurse was working in the maternity ward. If it happened that a woman would be brought, maybe she would have had a miscarriage or a stillbirth, and that is what was all that was needed. There were some charms that will be used on that woman so as to collect the child's soul, and the Tokoloshe can be created. I agreed, Brother Nashi. My role was clear. As a nurse, since I have easy access to pregnant women, most of the times they trust me. The moment that I'll be busy examining their bodies, touching their bellies, in doing so, I will leave some charms on their bellies, and this can make a woman later on to have a miscarriage or to have a stillbirth. So after that, then we do harvest. I still remember the first time using the potion. It was really nerve-wracking. There was a young mother who came to the clinic barely into her 20s, and she was glowing with the joy of pregnancy. She was healthy. She did not have any problem. She was excited for her first child. I then did the same thing. I went and I rubbed the potion on my hands, and then I returned back to her and I started working on her. And this woman, she trusted me completely. She thought that I was a good nurse, Brother Nashi, but I knew exactly what I was doing. I told myself that I had to do this since I had been promised a lot of money. As expected, complications began within hours. She returned back to the clinic. She was in pain, bleeding heavily. Despite our efforts, anonymous laughing, the child was lost. To everyone, it looked like it was just a tragic natural accident, a misfortune, but I knew the truth. I had taken her child's life and I had traded it for a future that I knew was going to give me money. The doctor was more than pleased in me, and he told me to recruit. I have since recruited another nurse and we work together. So this is a day in, day out operation. If I am working day shift, it means that whenever we are requested to bring in maybe 2 souls to this traditional healer, I do it throughout the day. And as for the other nurse that I work with, she can do it at night as well. It's not like we do it on a daily basis, because these Tokoloshes, they are not created each and every day. It is just that if God has forgotten about you, if it happens that you are pregnant at the time when this Sangoma requests that he needs to create another Tokoloshe, then you come in contact with me. For sure, I'm not going to feel very sorry for you, even though most of the people, they know that in our country, nurses, they don't get paid so much money. But the car that I drive, the house that I bought in Borodalbrook, people do not even understand. But the reason as to why I drive such a big car and I live in the most expensive neighborhood in the capital city of our country, it is simply because of the money that we are given. This is good money. Do I regret doing the things that I am doing? Sometimes I do regret, because I do have my own daughters. When I look at them, I ask myself a lot of uncomfortable questions, like, if it ever happens to one of my daughter, how will I feel knowing that my daughter has lost her pregnancy and her child is going to be used? Because let's say that you have a stillbirth maybe at 5 months. What you need to know is that that is the time when your child would have stopped growing in your womb. Even when this Tokoloshe is created, forever your child will be 5 months old, being used to make money, being used to bewitch other people, depending with how the Tokoloshe has been used. Is it for witchcraft or is it for money-making ritual? So forever and ever, your child will remain here on earth working as a Tokoloshe, but that Tokoloshe will never grow. It will be 5 months old. And it is quite a painful thing if it ever happens that you get to find out that the child that you gave birth to, this child of yours, is being used for these money-making rituals. So, Brother Nashi, this is my own story. If it ever happens that you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister right there. That was the translation of the message. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.